and that tends to be waterfront. But working with Steve, I've gained a lot of experience in hydraulic and hydrologic structures, so I'm going to talk a little bit about that. But I wanted to mention that because I know that our division isn't quite yet known for that, but it's definitely a market that we're trying to find our way into. So I'm going to share with you just the goals of our division's innovative program, as well as the process that we implemented, and share a little bit about the ideas that were submitted, including the idea that my team implemented. Throughout this presentation, you'll see a number of pictures of projects that either myself or other people within our division have been working on. I won't go into detail on all of them, but if you have any questions about any of them, feel free to contact me afterwards. So our leadership's ultimate goal was just to create this open opportunity or create a culture that allowed all of us at any level within the company to feel comfortable sharing our ideas. So the leadership established a committee. They appointed a committee and tasked them with developing a competition similar to what was just described. And I apologize, I don't usually look at things on 22 by 34, let alone on a big screen like this, because I wrote the plotter at our office, but that's besides the point. So the committee met on a number of occasions, and they came up with this process, and they encouraged many of us to form collaborative teams to submit on a number of categories. My team's idea was it was really a collaborative effort between a senior mechanical engineer in our Seattle Special Divisions office to develop in-house open source program software implementation for some of my computational fluid dynamic modeling, as well as his finite element analysis. Since this is entering a market that we're not yet that versed in, it's a big investment to purchase the real software, so we think that open source might be a good avenue for us. On the right of this slide, you'll see a plan and a section of a project that Steve Kingsley and I have been working on for U.S. Fish and Wildlife as part of his IDIQ. What it is it's a fish hatchery intake stream, which is essentially a structure that's on the side of a river that draws water through a screen to support the fish rearing process. I have to work in collaboration with mechanical and a civil engineer and a structural engineer to design these types of structures. And ultimately, we feel that the implementation of an open source program will lead to better technical basis than we currently have. Ultimately, we feel that the better technical basis will lead to better judgment, which leads to increased value for our clients and ultimately reduced risk for our company. So it's a grand venture that we'd like to pursue. So we've tried to come up with a process that we think will work in terms of vetting whether or not an open source software will work for us. So right now, Dan Hartford and myself and one of our structural design engineers are in this proof of concept phase where we're completing 2 representative problems, 2 that are computational fluid dynamics problems and 2 that are 2 finite element analysis problems. We're hoping that, if it allows, those problems will be billable, but to a certain extent, that might not be the case. So once we get through the proof of concept phase, we'll try to work through all the bugs and develop appropriate workflow and implement training, ultimately leading to rollout of these softwares. So in conclusion, what we found is that an innovation program encourages conversations about new ideas that will bring value to our company. And we're also learning that open source is a potential opportunity for us to enter new markets.